What if I told you that the most powerful way to make a man pursue you is to do absolutely nothing? No messages, no checking if he saw your posts, no casual, how's your day going, texts, just nothing. Sounds counterintuitive, right? But this is exactly where Carl Jung's insights make sense. When you pull back your energy, you stop feeding someone's ego and start revealing their true intentions. This isn't about playing games, it's about reclaiming your own inner power. The truth is, many women unintentionally make themselves invisible, not because they lack worth, but because they never allow a man to feel what it's like to miss them. Psychologically, Jung called this projection, giving away your light in the hope it will be reflected back to you. But the moment you stop giving and open yourself to receiving, something shifts. He starts moving toward you. Even if you're only half listening, let this play in the background. Your subconscious will catch what your heart already knows. You've been overgiving, and it's time he starts putting in the work. Here's a rarely spoken truth. Men don't fall for you when you hand them everything. They fall when they feel the gap left by what you once gave so freely. Think of it like this. Humans are wired to seek out what's missing. Jung said what we pursue is often an unconscious part of ourselves, something we long for, fear, or have been wounded by. When you create space, you stop being a constant source of validation and become a puzzle he's compelled to solve. And puzzles are captivating. Chasing comes from fear, fear of being forgotten, of losing him, of not being enough. But when you redirect that energy back into yourself, you stop trying to be chosen and start choosing yourself. Scarcity creates value. Have you ever noticed how the most attached people often receive the most attention? It's not because they're mean, it's because their energy isn't desperate. They're not trying to prove anything. That's energetic strength. You don't have to say a single word. Your absence says everything. When you chase, you confirm that he is the center of your universe. But when you step away, his mind starts asking, why isn't she after me anymore? Did I do something wrong? Is she seeing someone else? That's when you take up space in his thoughts. This isn't about being icy. It's about investing your focus into yourself, your peace, and your growth. Silence, self-care, and emotional independence speak louder than any "I miss you" ever could. Here's something men rarely admit but women often sense. They enjoy being chased because it inflates their ego. Every quick reply, every just checking in text, every time you break the silence first, it doesn't rebuild the bond, it reinforces his sense of control. Jung warned that when we overgive without receiving in return, we're not loving consciously. We're acting out of unexamined patterns rooted in fear. Most men aren't narcissists, but they can get comfortable in the role of being desired. So when that steady attention vanishes, something in them is unsettled. It's not necessarily you they miss. It's the reflection of themselves you used to provide. And that absence challenges their ego. Here's the beauty. If he only wanted the attention, he'll fade away when it's gone. But if you truly matter to him, he'll come looking for you. Your absence works like a filter. It separates genuine interest from ego-driven need. Jung spoke of the persona, the mask people wear. When you're always available, you reinforce that mask. But when you withdraw, he's forced to face what lies beneath. You can stop feeding his ego without cruelty. Don't respond instantly. Don't always initiate. Don't explain your silence. Don't post for the sake of getting his attention. Let your absence do the talking. If he values you, he'll prove it when you're not within reach. Silence communicates more than many realize. Jung believed the soul often speaks in what is not said. When you give a man accustomed to constant access, nothing, it sets off an emotional alarm. Silence isn't emptiness. It's space. It's a mystery. It's uncertain. And uncertainty is magnetic. What's taken for granted is eventually ignored. What vanishes without explanation becomes unforgettable. By not reacting, you allow space for him to reflect. Why isn't she chasing me? What happened? In that reflection, he starts to confront parts of himself he normally avoids. His shadow, as Jung called it. Your lack of response isn't punishment, it's revelation. It tells him you're done playing small in his world. And when he does react, with texts, indirect comments, or even anger, Remember, that's often ego trying to regain control, not love. One of the most effective moves is to let him do the wandering. When you stop over-explaining and step away without drama, you create mental space he feels but can't immediately understand. Men don't chase what's obvious. They chase what challenges them. One of the most effective moves is to let him do the wandering. When you stop over-explaining and step away without drama, you create mental space he feels but can't immediately understand. Men don't chase what's obvious. They chase what challenges them. If he realizes you're not as accessible as before, curiosity takes over. He replays your conversations, revisits your pictures, and questions his decisions. But here's the key. Don't rush to close that gap for him. Let him work to bridge it. If you step in too soon, you break the tension. This isn't about manipulation. It's about revealing who truly wants to come closer when you're not pushing them to. There's a rare beauty in the woman who leaves without scenes, who isn't bitter, who doesn't need to prove her worth through words. Jung called this individuation, the journey of separating from outside expectations to reconnect with your authentic self. When you walk away from someone who can't meet your needs, you're not losing, you're evolving. And men sense that. They notice when your reactions change, when your emotional availability vanishes. They feel that your life no longer revolves around them, and it makes them think. Ironically, the independence that grows from letting go often becomes a magnet. But this time, you don't need him. If he comes back, let it be because he's ready to meet you at your level. Not because his ego is unsettled. You don't always have to speak your boundaries. Living them is more powerful. If you stop responding to last-minute invites, stop entertaining half-hearted efforts, and stop giving instant replies to casual texts, you're saying without words, I know my value. Men learn what you allow. If you tolerate crumbs, that's what they'll give. When your actions align with your worth, you no longer have to demand respect. It arrives naturally. At some point, you've done enough. You've shown up, cared, given. Now it's his turn. When you stop initiating, stop seeking signs, and focus on your own life, he'll feel the shift. Then comes the truth. If he values you, he'll move toward you. If he doesn't, that's your answer. And that's freedom. Because you were never here to beg for love. You're here to attract it from a place of wholeness. If this resonates, remember, silence isn't about punishment. It's about returning to yourself. Jung said, don't cling to those walking away, so those who want to stay can find you. You're not trying to make him chase you. You're making space for the right energy to arrive. Your silence is stronger than you think. Thanks for watching. If this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments below. If you found value in this, give it a like to help more people see it. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss videos that empower you, inspire you, and remind you of your worth. Your support means the world, and it helps us continue creating content that speaks to your soul. What if I